All right, guys, good evening and welcome to the Footybets YouTube channel. Today is Sunday, the, excuse me 1 minute, the 11th of December 2022, and we're doing a recap of the wonderful games that were played at the FIFA World Cup in the quarterfinals stages, man. Just crazy games. I am still overwhelmed by that Moroccan performance against Portugal. They virtually did the unthinkable by edging out Portugal 1-0, a wonderful goal by El Nesiri in the 42nd minute of the first half. It's just unbelievable. I can't quite convey the way I felt yesterday afternoon after watching that game. It was just celebrations galore, and we're all just taken aback by that momentous victory against one of the tournament's favorites there, man. And it is a watershed moment for African football. It is a breakthrough moment for the continent. Africa finally has a representative in the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. When you think back to Senegal in 2002 losing in the quarterfinals to Turkey, when you think back to Ghana losing in the quarterfinals to Uruguay, you remember that's Luis Suarez handball back in 2010 in South Africa. When you think about Cameroon losing to England in 1990, the class of Rojamila and Co. And then you realize how much of an improvement that we have made to finally be able to have a team in the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. It's just it's just joyous. It is wonderful. It is something that we must celebrate. And again, after the game, I was talking with a couple of friends, and I was telling them about the movement of that Moroccan backline there, and I told them, I said, when those guys are out of possession, watch the way they drop back, right? And watch the way they push up. It's almost synchronized, right? Each of those back four players are taking the same number of steps. When you're falling back, you're taking the exact number of steps. And when you're pushing up, right, you're taking the exact number of steps in synchronization with each other. And even when Roman Says came off, right, and then the other guy too came off, their replacements were doing the exact same thing. So, it's testament to the wonderful coaching of the coach. Can't quite remember his name right now, but that backline has been properly drilled millions and millions of times, and the way they defend together as a unit, not just that backline. Amrabat has had a monster performance of a lifetime, and I'm very sure that in the January transfer window, Fiorentina's hand will be forced. I'm very sure that teams like Liverpool will be looking at him as a good replacement for Fabinho, because he can add energy and zest to that midfield. His positional awareness to Amrabat too, very wonderful. Ziyech, Sofiane Boufal, the other substitutes that came from the bench. That Moroccan team is a joy to watch, and long may that continue in their semi-final game against Croatia. Everyone knows that they stand a chance, and then yes, sorry, not against Croatia, against they'll be facing France. So it's all to do again. Like, in my last prediction, I was saying that Portugal was going to beat them, but hey, I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say that one is anybody's game. If Morocco continue, the quality of their performances, then it's a fool's errand to predict the outcomes of their games at this moment in time. So yeah, pretty much it. France basically did the business against England. I did think that they would be too strong for the English, although Harry Kane missed that second penalty. So yeah, I know you might want to challenge my opinions on that. France, of course, got the lead through a thunderbolt of a strike from Aurelien Tchouameni. England forced their way back in the second half via penalty after Tchouameni had brought down Saka in the penalty box. Harry Kane duly dispatched to become the joint top scorer for for the men's England football team, joining Wayne Rooney on that same list. I think they are both on 53 goals for the Three Lions. He missed an opportunity to go ahead of Wayne Rooney there, missing the penalty and just basically blazing it. That ball is still traveling as we speak. And this was after Olivier Giroud had given France the lead again on the night through a sumptuous header after a wonderful cross from, I think it was Griezmann. Yeah, it was a Griezmann's cross from the left of the pitch. Just a wonderful header, a picture of a header there. Harry Maguire just failed to get across quickly to him, to prevent the cross there. So England are out of the tournament. France have progressed to the semi-finals, and they are threatening to become the first team since Brazil in 1962 to defend the FIFA World Cup. Brazil had won the tournament in 58 and in 62, and then they won it in 1970. It was that golden generation of Brazilian football. Pelé played in all three of those World Cup victories there. So the other games was Brazil versus Croatia, and again I just want to say that once Brazil went ahead via Neymar in the second half of extra time, I just expected them to go into lockdown mode. Basically what the Italians would do, right? Break up play, break up the rhythm, tactical fouls, slowing down the game, wasting time on throws. Just do whatever it is you need to do, because between Neymar scoring and the 120th minute mark, it was less than, I think, 5 minutes, right? So it's a bit of a pity that a Brazilian team with so much experience, so much accomplished players couldn't see that game out with 5 or 6 minutes left to play. So, really, really disappointing one. And I still think that it is a symptom of their approach so far in these games, because they've had very easy games against Switzerland, Serbia. In the round of 16, they blew South Korea away. I just think that they've had this lackadaisical approach. Even the performance of Neymar on the day, I know he scored the goal, but he was very much pedestrian, right? Walking on the pitch, not closing down players, not tracking the run of Modric. So, when he finally went ahead, I just expected them to go into lockdown mode, but Brazil are in this cruise control, like a disco mode, like, what the Samba boys of Brazil were here to play good football. Sometimes you need to get down and also do the ugly side of football, right? In order to get a result, to see out the game, sometimes you need to do the dirty things, right? Break up play, commit tactical fouls, waste time on the throw-ins, all these things. When you watch Morocco, Morocco are very vast, and they're no nonsense team. They go into lockdown mode immediately they score a goal. And don't forget, they haven't considered any goal by an opponent. The only goal they've considered so far was an own goal, and that was in their game against Canada. They played 3 games and that's 5 games, only considered 1 goal, and that was even an own goal. It tells you how good this Moroccan side is. The other one, so in condition of our Brazil-Croatia discussion was, and then Croatia then got the equalizer via, I think it was Petkovic. The two subs combining Osic and Petkovic. First of all, just the build-up of the play there, right? From Guardiola clearing the ball to Perisic heading the ball into midfield, into the path of Luka Modric. Luka Modric using all his experience and body weight to get that ball to the path of, I think, I can't quite remember who it was that then sprayed that pass to the left-hand channel, and Brazil had vacated that right-hand channel, right? Or rather, that left-hand channel, right? The right back was up the pitch, right, at that moment, and the guy just basically drove down the left and then picked out the pass of Petkovic, or rather, picked out the run of Petkovic into the box, and then you had a wicked deflection from Marquinhos. It was too late for Alisson to react, and then it went on to penalties, and of course Marquinhos missed his own penalty. Rodrigo missed Brazil's first penalty. And then the Croatians just did the ball right. They scored 4 penalties. Brazil missed 2 penalties there, and the rest is history. A Brazilian side that should basically have won this tournament, right, have now succumbed to another quarterfinal exit. In 2010, they exited in quarterfinal to Netherlands. In 2006, I think it was France again in quarterfinal. In Russia, I knew it was another quarterfinal. I can't quite remember again, but again, the quarterfinal seems to be sort of a hoodoo for the Brazilians. Yeah, so that's done. The other ones we talked about will be, we talked about France versus England, we talked about Morocco versus Portugal, we talked about we just talked about Brazil, Croatia, The other one we'll talk about is Argentina versus Netherlands. Very feisty affair, but the little magician having his say there. I'm just basically doing things for the Argentines on the night. They went ahead through one of the greatest passes I've seen, man. That reverse pass into the path of Molina, he just deleted 5 Dutch players, man. And then Molina just finding that grit to get ahead of Van Dijk and the goalkeeper to steer that one home. And then Argentina got a penalty again in the second half after good work from Acuna down that left. Dumfries was adjudged to have fouled him into in the box, and then Messi just duly dispatched that, made that 2-0. But more drama, awaited us when Valdvegas had. For those of us that follow Burnley in the Premier League, you remember Valdvegas playing for them. I remember him playing, and that guy is about 6'6", very tall. First goal, brilliant cross from the right into the box. He headed it past. And the second goal was just a pitch of a free kick, something that must have been worked on the training ground. I don't think anyone has seen that pulled out in top level football. Just brilliant invention, especially when you consider that it was the last kick of the game, and under pressure for them to work that out, for them to execute that, shows how much practice they must have put into that. And basically rolled it into part of Vegas, takes a touch, and then just lost it past Martinez. And then they went on, and then they played penalties, and then Van Dijk missed the first penalty taken by the Dutch, and I think it was Berghuis that missed his own penalty, and then Argentina just basically scored about 4 of their penalties. Only Fernandez missed his own penalty. Enzo Fernandez, the Benfica player, who has also become a revelation in this tournament. So yeah, Messi scored his penalty. Forgotten this guy, the right back that came on, I think from Molina later on in the game, scored his own penalty. Alvaro Martinez, of course, scored the winning penalty on the night. But yeah, pretty good one. Argentina again, they have to be careful against Croatia, right? Croatia is a team that fights and they stick together a lot. They've suffered from a lot of setbacks in this tournament, but here they are in the semi-finals again. Don't forget that last World Cup in Russia, they finished runners-up to France, right? They lost in the final to France 4-2. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the semi-finals will start on Tuesday. Argentina versus Croatia. And then Wednesday, Morocco versus France. I'm not going to make any predictions, guys, because this World Cup it's just tough, man, to make any predictions, man. But I think the whole world wants to see Messi finally lift the World Cup, right? It will cement his legacy as the greatest of all time if he's able to to achieve that at the Qatari World Cup. For us Africans who are still we still wish that the fairy tale continues. We hope that Morocco can do one over France. I know that that's a tall order, but hey, it's football, and you just never know. So guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and turn on notifications, because we're releasing videos like this, especially after the semi-finals. I should have a video on Wednesday or Thursday, reviewing the semi-finals, and then hopefully the third place, and then the final come December the 18th. So guys, that's pretty much it. Stay safe, stay sane. We'll have more Footybets for you in 3 to 4 this time. Thank you.